All right, thank you for joining me today. My name is Bill Bateson. I am a mortgage advisor with Province Mortgage Associates in Connecticut here, and I wanted to take a few minutes today to talk to you about how home loans work. So I'll give you a little behind the scenes of the mortgage market and try to delve into why and how it ends up affecting you, right? So you're stepping into the mortgage space because you want to buy a house, but you don't have enough to pay cash. Very common, obviously. Not everyone has $300,000 sit in their bank account. So what you need to do is you need to go and get a mortgage loan. So when you're going to get a mortgage loan, you're going to want to talk to a mortgage advisor. Okay. My job is to match you up to the best loan program given the property and your goals here. So I bolded these three variables because they really keep coming into play. This is what we're looking at throughout the whole process: you, the program, and the property. And I like to use this analogy. When you look at this little board on the right, we all remember this game. You're trying to match up the pieces to the spots on the board, right? So the program here really kind of represents the wooden board, and you and the property are all these pieces. And so it's my job to try to find a board that matches your pieces, because a lot of the information that you give me, we're not going to change, right? So your income or your credit score, we can't change that. We can't change if the house you're looking at is a red star, or if your income is a yellow square there. We can't change that. So we have to try to find a program, a board that matches up with your pieces. And we're going to run into headaches and issues when we're trying to put the wrong pieces into the wrong spots. If we don't have the right board for you, then we're going to have issues. So where do these boards come from? Where do these programs come from? The big programs in the mortgage space come from some of these big players like Fannie Mae, Freddie Mac, Ginnie Mae. Those names you might not be too familiar with, but you will be probably a little more familiar with these names on the right here. So the big programs are conventional, FHA, VA, and USDA. There's still a few different variations within each of those four categories. So there's a few different types of conventional loans, a few different types of FHA loans, and kind of guidelines within those can change as well, depending on your credit score and how much money you're putting down. But I'll go into that in a little bit more depth in another video. But the big programs, the big boards in our analogy are the conventional FHA, VA, and USDA boards. Okay, so how does this affect you? Well, like I just said, whoever controls the loans, those loans are conventional, FHA, VA, USDA, they set the guidelines. And the guidelines are what we can think of as the boards. Okay. So those programs shape the mortgage experience that you're going to end up having. Okay. So somebody else sets the programs, and it's up for me, the mortgage advisor, to maneuver and fit the pieces into the right boards, the right programs. And guidelines are there to protect the lenders, obviously make sure we're giving people money that they can pay back, but they're also there in a large part to protect the borrowers. Okay, to make sure it's an equal and level playing field for you, and that there's no discrimination in lending, and that you don't get pushed into a loan that's not good for you, or steered away from one that is good for you. So the guidelines are very important for the borrowers and the lenders there. And so, like I said, your entire mortgage process is going to be based on the program chosen. See these three variables again, and then the documentation needed to show that you and the property fit the mold. So it comes back to this plain board. All those pieces are you and the property, and we need to make sure that the program chosen is going to fit all of those pieces. And you want to make sure that you end up with a mortgage advisor who can really help you navigate the board, move the pieces, so you end up in the best financial situation throughout your mortgage process. Okay, so understanding this little bit on the back end will really help you understand why the front end is the way it is. I think for the average person, heading into the process knowing this will help you ask better, more meaningful questions about the programs that you end up discussing, and being aware of how you and the property fit or do not fit into the spaces in those boards. Okay, so you need to be honest up front, all the information that we get from you, because we need to know if we should be looking at a very specific program or a very specific property, because we don't want to waste our time with anything else. Okay, we know that square pegs aren't going to fit into round holes, and so we don't want to waste weeks or months trying to make something work for you that just won't in the end. So it's important that we have all the pieces up front so that we can fit them into the right programs and the right boards as we're moving along. I hope this was a valuable presentation. I hope you learned a little bit from it. If you have any questions about this or any other topic you'd like to see covered, please reach out to me directly. Again, this is Bill Bateson from Province Mortgage Associates, and look for more videos in the future. I'll talk to you guys again soon.